Hello, I'm Richard Raffan. I've just made this little camphor laurel dish. I had a few little problems with it, a little problem with the rim. Anyway, you'll see all that in this video. This is a piece of camphor laurel, which as I move it around I can see highlights. It's half sapwood and half colour in the middle, which is not ideal, but anyway, that will, because that throws the blank off balance. Anyway, this is going on to a screw chuck. Just don't need all that screw. Hole already in the middle. Stop that and just lock the spindle and cinch it up. So, roughing down as usual with a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. And don't go racing off the end. Just want to get it round first. See what diameter I have to play with. It's a commercial blank, so it's got two parallel faces. Just see if that's thrown up anything. Nope. And the slightly hairy bits here, that'll be where the highlights are. Might be a little bit difficult cutting it, but we'll find out very shortly. Running at around 1400. This is around an 8-inch blank. Just get a foot on it so I can grab it all right. So the foot's going to be about the right size. I've got these dividers set for my 5-inch chuck, and that foot is too small for those, so I'm going to have to go for the next ones, which will be the step jaws. I'll just see how that looks, but I think that's going to be small than or will it? No, I can live with that quite happily, so fine. Smooth this up with the scraper. Check that it's slightly concave, which it is. I have dividers set to my chuck sizes. So it'll be fine. Now a little kind of lip to this plate. Right, straight in to start. Got a fairly long bevel on this, around 45 degrees, maybe a bit longer. Straight in start with, and then I shake the foot after that. So that looks a little bit kind of hairy, as I might have expected up there, so I'll try a shear cut. I mean, this will sand easily, but I'll just try a shear cut here. This is the asymmetric 3/8 spindle gouge, 3/8 flute, steep right wing, very steep bevel, so I can get in comfortably here. Feels marginally smoother, but not much. A bit. Right, just a little bit with a scraper and sand. Now up on the rim here, I want a nice little corner in underneath. It will be a kind of rounded rim. Rounded rim, or maybe I'll put a little cove in there. So I'm going to use the left wing of the tool just to kind of tool's tilted up, just squeeze that in, and so the cove is cut with that portion just above where the dust is. Now across the bottom, 3/8 spindle gouge. Straight in to start with, and then come in with the tool right on its side. Roll it very slightly anti-clockwise, and that gives me a little rounded foot. Just get in with that on the top of the foot. Careless there. And sand that. Starting off with 120 because the grain's picked up as expected on the end grain. That'll pretty well take care of it. We'll go in reverse as well. To 40 grits up to 320. Mesh, not my favourite abrasive, but it's what I've got. I am using a rice bran oil, which I find is a good finish for utilitarian things. Gets mixed up with the beeswax. This is not a drying oil. The wax seems to mix in with it, and so it gets mixed in with the oil. And the surface comes off and into the sock or the rag. And I assume that this is going to be used, and when it's used I assume it will be washed up. Hot water and detergent, so the surface will then come off and the patina builds up with use. And if the foot is the right size for the jaws, there will be no chuck marks on the foot. So next thing is to drill a depth hole. Let's open up starter hole a bit. one. Oh, it's 1/2 inch spindle gouge. So the tool starts on its side, rolls slightly anti-clockwise, and away you go. Down to, I would think, about 3/8 of an inch. No, more like 1/4. Now I'm going to use the left wing again just to shear scrape that into a little toe and round that edge over. It's looking a shade messy at the moment. And the rest will be done with a scraper. If you're interested in knowing how thick it is, just over 1/4 of an inch, which is about 7 millimeters. In fact, feels a bit chunky where my thumb is, just there, so I'm just going to come down with the deep fluted bowl guide. 3/8. Feels a bit better. This gets power sanded with 120 grit. Now regard this in part as a shaping tool. Any little ridges soon go away with this. Little areas, as I said earlier on, likely to be problems where that kind of hairy grain was. Just work on those areas on their own. A bit there, probably a bit over the other side somewhere. No, doesn't seem to be. $180. Get a better shape idea in that little cove with by hand. Just soften the inner lip a little bit. 240 grit here. It appears to be a little split. There. Right, so that's going to come off. Just mark where it is. Just with the 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Often splits show up with the finer sanding, so where's my pencil mark got to? Thought I'd made a pencil mark, maybe I didn't. That's split out. Rather change the shape of my rim, but it still looks okay. There's still the remnants of the split. I'm just going to work on that bit. See if it goes away. It has. Something shredded the abrasive.